Hey fellas, what's going on? It is a shitty, gray, wet Monday afternoon here in Astoria, Oregon. Yep, talking about the weather, killer content already. I got home from work really early. So I'm a sales rep for a local brewery here in Astoria. And during the summertime, we're crazy busy. Lots and lots and lots of stuff going on. Running around, selling a bunch of beer, selling a bunch of wine, getting people set up with stuff, changing stuff out, yada, 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 right? As it gets slow, boom, business just halts. And I got all the way done, like probably a couple of hours before I normally do. If my boss is watching this, which thank God he isn't, yeah, I'm sure he could find something for me to do, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm done. So I want to mess around with some tapes with you guys, if I may. I just ran into the mail lady, and so I used to deliver for FedEx, right? It's one of my favorite jobs I ever had, ever. I was in the best shape of my life. The job just made sense. You have a truck full of stuff, get that truck full of stuff to where it needs to go, and go home. It was awesome. I didn't get enough hours was the problem, I think, ultimately, the first time around. But I always think about that job. I always miss it. And I just asked the mail lady if they were, what they were hiring for. Because they always say USPS is always hiring. And she was like, man, we desperately need carriers. I don't know, man. I'm kind of starting to think about switching roles over to USPS. I mean, anyway, enough about that. Speaking of being in bad shape, I got some more beer. So at work, obviously, we get a bunch of free beer. One of my favorite ways to get it is in these, label-less cans. The only way you know what it is they usually write stuff about it on the bottom. I'm assuming this is a fresh hop IPA. It's fresh hop season, so. How the hell are you guys doing today? Doing well, I hope. Cheers. Yeah, it smells like fresh hop beer. Fresh. Speaking of fresh, I got some excellent mail the other day from my buddy L Nasty, Leland, aka L Nasty. So I've known Leland for years now, really. I used to run a little record store here in Astoria called Metalhead. I had to close, and then an old buddy of mine helped me reopen it. He had a studio in the back. I had the record store up front. He also started up this little label called Higher Intelligence. And the first record he put out was an El Nasty record. And here it is. Wider Horizons. Another buddy of mine did the cover. This was quite the fucking buddy endeavor. But yeah, Higher Intelligence Music Group. El Nasty produces some magnificent beats. Puts out beats albums. I'm going to try to describe it without using the term vibe, but it sets a really mellow atmosphere. The samples are all mellow. The beats are subdued. You can put it on with absolutely anything. It's one of the things. It's one of the things I like about Dungeon Synth so much is that you can either have it on in the background and get whatever it is you do done, or you can focus directly on it. It has depth to it. So this was the album that got put out on vinyl. He has since switched over to cassette tapes. He now is on a label called 77 Rise Recordings, based out of San Francisco. This is the Taking Shape album, which is really, really cool. Also really, really cool is Fashionable Cigarettes. 77 Rise does a really good job with their physical media. Cool cassettes, cool cases, cool J cards. You seeing a pattern here, fellas? Cool. But yeah, Leland messaged me the other day, asked how I was doing, and said I've got some tapes I wanted to show you, and here they are. So we've got the newest album, Birds and Light. Hard to pick a favorite, but new one might be my favorite. It also came with this compilation cassette of 77 Rise records. Whole bunch of different artists from the label, and of course El Nasty as well. I was listening to this one last night. I only got about halfway through it, but it is really, really good. So an all-around awesome mail day. Really, really highly recommend, if you are a fan of beats, you should probably, if you don't already know about, you should probably become familiar with 77 Rise and absolutely El Nasty. So thanks a lot, homie. I appreciate you. All right, 2 pieces of mail. One I don't remember what it is, and one I've been really excited about getting here. First up, by way of Waterloo, Iowa. I'm always apprehensive to cut into these things. I have royally fucked up extras this way. My favorite is when I cut right into a t-shirt. Oh yeah. Elle threw in this Doom pin for me. Oh man. Cool. Okay, so this is something that I have been waiting for a good long while, through absolutely no fault whatsoever to do with the person behind the project. So this is a project by Tomb Wizard. Magic Weapons Part 1, Against Winged Empires. So something went awry. Often, you know, if you are at the mercy of a plant that presses cassettes, records, whatever, any kind of fuckery can come up, and this guy hit a big old cloud of fuckery. Lots of fuckery turbulence on this one. So he ended up, if I'm remembering correctly, he had to redo all of these all himself. He had to put up his own money. He had to come up with the raw materials, put them all together, and fulfill however many, you know, many orders were standing. So this is really cool, and it's a testament to somebody who gets behind the 8 ball, but then they make good on their word or on their sale, right? Because as we all know, so many people fucking drop the ball, and they did not. So at this point, I completely forget what it sounds like. My guess is it sounds an awful lot like Dungeon Synth. Killer design. Love these cases, by the way. Excellent artwork. Easy to please, this guy. If you got a castle or a dragon, I'm set. And it fucking smells good. So on to the main course. My buddy Jamie reappeared. Jamie is real active in the cassette groups, has a killer collection, has killer taste, and as far as I remember, kind of didn't necessarily drop off, but maybe, stopped collecting or whatever, or maybe just fell off of my radar. Anyway, they reappeared, and now we're talking again, and talking tapes, and I bought a few tapes from them a couple weeks ago, and they just arrived. Jamie is in distribution as well. Jamie works for a big beverage company down in Florida, so we sort of got to talk a little shop about distribution stuff. Jamie told me that they threw in some extras here. Cool. Okay. Primal incinerators of Mortal Matrix. Man, what the fuck does that even mean? Cool. It's got some like alchemical sigils. Ooh, it's on Iron Bonehead. Cool. Iron Bonehead's a great label if you are unfamiliar. Some really, really cool stuff there. Wild. Look at that. So I know absolutely nothing about this other than Iron Bonehead's a great label. Some of my favorite bands are under the Iron Bonehead umbrella, notably Rope Sect. If you're unfamiliar with Rope Sect, become familiar. Excellent post-punk, goth, dark rock. Cool. Yep, never even heard of this. Weird. Huh. Cool, Jamie. Thank you. All right, what else we got? Ooh, Superman on the radio. Cool. It's from '77. I mean, it's from much, much earlier, but the tape came out in 1977. So I actually just now remembered this. Jamie's a big comic book guy. My father is a huge comic book collector. And so we have that in common. I actually grew up listening to a lot of the Superman broadcasts and everything like that. This is awesome. Cool. All right. Ooh. So Jamie threw in a couple of, obviously threw in some extras. This was one that I knew that he was throwing in. Dimmu Borgir, Stormblast. I don't have any Dimmu Borgir. So now I do, and that's awesome. Stormblast being an early album of theirs. Cool. Cool. All right, so here are the two that I picked out. Got First Spell by Gehenna. I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly. Really, really excellent 90s, early 90s black metal. 94, I think. This one is out on Darkness Shall Rise Records, or Darkness Shall Rise Productions, 2021. Really, really excellent second gen black metal. Lots of spooky keyboards and very witchy. Cool. And then the main course, My Dying Bride, Turn Loose the Swans. This is the Futurist and Peaceville release. It's in perfect shape. This, I think, is the second My Dying Bride, second or third anyway. This is when they got heavy on the violins and just really, really heavy, dark, morose doom metal, kind of in the vein of Paradise Lost. I mean, they stand on their own legs, but yeah. So some early My Dying Bride on Peaceville, fucking cool, man. Excellent mail day. Thanks for listening to me blather on. I hope you guys are good. Maybe next time I see you, I'll be wearing a little mailman outfit for you guys with the short shorts.